Hey, everybody, welcome to our weekly Ecosystem Office Hours call. I am your host, Jinx, and we are joined, as always, by the best and brightest in the Pocket ecosystem. If you are listening to these calls on YouTube, by the way, they are held every Wednesday at noon EST in our main Pocket public Discord. So please feel free to join in and ask questions, drop comments, chats, anything else you like along the way. We certainly appreciate community questions and feedback. A lot of stuff happening right now. A couple of things that are probably of interest. We are pushing out our foundation's partnerships program very aggressively for all of the previous paying customers of Grove who are still looking for dedicated endpoints. That is the partnership program that we are pushing them towards, and it is really straightforward. We have multiple gateways in the ecosystem who are either online currently or coming online that are going to be set up through our load balancer, which is rotating through the gateways themselves. And any foundation who wants to get unlimited throughput versus what is provided by the public RPC channel can do so using our existing infrastructure, and their only cost is to cover the cost of the burn. So it is literally the most cost-effective way to get RPC, decentralized RPC, and to use Pocket Protocol in the way that it was designed. We are providing the support for that currently, doing the app stakes management portion of that ourselves. But we do have a much more user-friendly app stake manager in build process currently. I spent the last couple of days working on interface, and our engineer extraordinaire Otto is going to be working on the back end of that and wiring it up to the actual protocol stuff, and using contributions from Jorge and POKTScan team, Soothe team, I suppose, to connect with Wallet to provide the actual authentication layer for that. So it should be all very nice and smooth and pretty and easy to use in short order. We also have some additional partnership type stuff that we'll probably be talking more about next week, but we are expecting December to be a very banging month. Otto, I'm going to hand it over to you for a second. If there's anything protocol related you want to push out updates for, I know we have some new resources and stuff that will be coming online, but I'll give you the mic for a second if you like.
Yeah, sure, totally. One of the things that we are doing right now is we are in the middle of the transition of some critical infrastructure from the Groove team to the foundation. And I wanted to let everyone know that this afternoon probably we are going to be doing some rehearsals on some fronts, especially on the public RPC gateway. So please be attentive. If you see something, report it as soon as possible so we can know that something is impacted. Also, we are in the middle of updating some documentation. It was bring up early this morning that we have some docs that are still not up to date with the new RPC endpoints. So please keep reporting so we can get more visibility and see what else we need to be updating.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Also, we have an increasing focus on improving quality of service, and especially through the F-Chains program. So expect a lot more digging into on that front in regards to performance and such. I will hand it over to Tracy right now for our F-Chains update.
Hello, good afternoon. So I have sent everyone their very own spreadsheet. Anyone that's included in the F-Chains program, I've sent them their own spreadsheet. A few of them are not updated. Thank you to those who did update them. The rest of you who haven't, please get them updated as soon as possible. I'll be reviewing what we have and seeing if there's opportunities to add more chains, potentially add more stake to some of the providers. So get them updated. Let me know if you have infra that you're able to support more, and I will keep you in mind moving forward. I think Breezy, you had asked a question about the high traffic versus low traffic. I'm going to post something by the end of the weekend that will clearly outline what is high traffic and what is low traffic. And I think that's it for the F chains. Yeah. Any questions?
Beautiful. And just one quick addition onto that. Some of these foundation partnerships that we're putting together, they have additional layers or custom things that they like to run that they are interested in partnering directly with node runners for. I know Breezy and Stake Nodes is one of the partners who is providing additional dedicated services, for instance. If you are open to, being an additional services provider for some of our foundation's partners, just let us know and we'll make sure that you're in the list and rotation for providing some of that stuff. Any questions up to that point? Oh, actually, just real quick shout out to POKTScan team who has put in a number of fixes on the POKTScan dashboard. It seems to be running very snappy. I haven't had any delays or load fails or anything else. So if you were waiting for specific POKTScan dashboards to come back, that all seems to be strongly up and running at this point. Okay, questions up till there. I see you, Jorge. Okay, well, no questions in the comments yet. You are, of course, free to leave them there. Art, do you guys want to give a Grove update on the X402 stuff? Happy to give you some mic time for that. Maybe, maybe not.
Sorry, wasn't next to the computer. Just yeah, all good. Yeah. So where are we? Okay, so we have a an app. Okay, so how are we doing? Give me a second. I'm trying to get my thoughts straight on this. Okay, so our goal is to soft launch this next week before Thanksgiving, though I think I'm going to push it back a little farther until after. We have the way this is supposed to work is a user is supposed to go to our website. There will be a login button. They log in with a Base or Solana wallet, and they will be presented with the ability to pre-fund an escrow wallet on that chain. And then they get a token, and that token goes into a Chrome extension. And that Chrome extension is what's going to allow you to surface tipping links all over the web. We have it working with Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube, where if it's somehow somewhere on those pages or profiles, we can sniff out through either APIs or through UI scraping that a Base or Solana link is available. You'll be able to tip them in the moment using your escrow wallet that you've pre-funded. We are currently in talks with Solana Foundation, with Coinbase, with Privy, with a couple other organizations about doing a go-to-market strategy. Some folks have soft committed some money for us once they test out the tool. Yeah, there's a lot. There's like a shit ton actually going on. I'm sorry, my brain is going a million miles a minute. But yeah, we have the extension working. We have the app working. We have the API working. We're going to start doing kind of end-to-end prod tests tomorrow. And yeah, this product should go live soon. Definitely in the next couple of weeks. That's our goal. We want to get this out there and get it in the hand of people. Our wait list is in the 4 figures at this point. Nice. And yeah, we have some ideas on to get it even higher. So we're in a good place.
Beautiful. Well, that's awesome to hear. We're looking forward to seeing that hit production.
Thank you.
I am going to try to be Jorge for a minute because his internet is bad, but he did have a new product or tooling suite up this week that he wanted to announce, which he has called Sauron, the all-seeing eye of the Pocket ecosystem. Essentially, Sauron is similar to Node Nanny, which was a product that was around for a little while in Morse. I don't really think that it ever hit high-end adoption or what we would really might call production ready. But Sauron really is a singular system to be able to monitor all of the blockchain nodes and both on-chain and off-chain actors for things like heights and response as a node management tool, so to speak. And that is out there and free and ready to be contributed to and played with right now. The setup and installation process is pretty straightforward and simple. We have this running right now on Node stuff. So entirely open source. Feel free to play with it and contribute if you like. Make your own tweaks, do whatever you like, clone it, fork it, do the whole thing. But I think that it's a pretty solid all-in-one tool for broad visibility across your infra in service of the network. And if there are any questions about that, Jorge can probably answer in comments. But that's about as deep as I can give from a description status. Evo asks, how does the pocket holders benefit from what Arthur said about new tipping service? I mean, that's a question that has been asked and answered a dozen times over the last few weeks. The X402 product is what Grove is putting out there to pivot to being a product-oriented organization, and potentially can use pocket channels underneath that to service data needs. That's about the single largest connection to that.
Yeah, I'll add that we in our capacity of running infra for many years, we have a lot of connections to a bunch of indexers, and some of those indexers still use Pocket under the hood. The product specifically will be using both indexers and RPCs directly, and we will be using when it comes to using an indexer, we're most likely going to partner with someone that uses Pocket anyway under the hood. So there's an indirect connection there. For RPCs, we will use a Pocket when we're able to for the types of things that we're trying to do. Yeah, but just like all other apps, we will be initially doing some load balancing and analysis on what's going on. But given that there are now going to be multiple gateways plus public endpoints, all of which or some of which are using Path, which we know how it works, we will have the ability to kind of double dip into using Pocket under the hood.
Beautiful. I think that with some of the other types of services that we've been looking at, the usage of X402 with agent to human and potentially, I suppose, agent to agent type payment services does dovetail nicely into our expanding category of LLM support, especially streaming LLM support. I know that, and hopefully I'm not like, exposing any trade secrets here or anything, but I know that Ramiro and his crew have been working on a specifically LLM streaming setup for gateways that can probably help support additional services like this as well. In fact, honestly, Ramiro, you're killing me that you haven't given us any other updates on that, because what you guys are doing is so novel and innovative and different than any other thing that we've seen that I'm really dying to hear more, but I'm not going to put you on the spot right now.
Yeah, I'm dying too. I mean, I want to have this presented for a while. There is a lot of work going on. If you look closely at what we are doing in Nix, you will see some hints, but we cannot present it until we have it running like we want it. And we are very special in how we want things to work. So we have to wait a little bit more.
Beautiful. All right, so other questions? I think that's everything that's on my list, although I may come up with something else. I always seem to, but that's everything on my agenda, so it's open floor. what happens in December? Oh God, it's like a ton of things happen in December. Right now, both DevDAO and Pocket AI are in their actual final testing phase, and they're going to be being added on to the load balancer that is routing public RPCs across all participating gateways. And we have multiple marketing campaigns that are lined up to launch around that as well to create general support. We also have some new MMs that are coming on that are helping provide additional market support, both in some of our smaller exchanges and on the DeFi side as well. And in the last week of November, 11/28-ish or so is our target, is when we are bringing the WPocket bridge back online to allow for support with that DeFi trading. So a ton of things all happening basically at the same time. Who is the team working on quality of service improvements right now? Who are the remaining protocol devs? So this is actually, I think that's a good question to ask, but probably not for the reason that you think. Pocket is an open source project. There is no such thing as who are the remaining protocol devs. We have an entire community engineering group. We have more than 10 node runners who are active participants in the F-Chains program. We have like dozens of people who are actively involved in improvements, focus, tooling, and protocol engineering improvements. So if you want to know who they are, then feel free to jump into Discord and say hello. They're all over the Shannon mainnet and Shannon betanet channels. You can see all of the people that are lit up on the right side where users are listed under online and such. Feel free to engage with them. And what's more, feel free to check out the repos themselves and look who contributors are and bridges and all the rest of that. We don't maintain an index of open source contributors because most open source projects don't do that. That would just be a layer of coordination that is a giant pain in the ass. You contribute, you can push PRs, you can build and release tooling like Sauron here. That's all over the place. Michael, you asked, did you say December or November for the bridge? 11/28. We're looking to have it up. We're going to do final testing between 11/25 and 11/28 to make sure that we're solid on the Shannon side, and then kick it up live by 11/28. Yeah, you freaking Europeans. November 28th. How's that? 28/11.
Much better.
Freedom calendars.
Freedom TM.
Yes. The 28th of November. Is there a bounty program for PRs? We don't have a specific bounty program for PRs right now, but that's something that we are spinning back up. We have a model for it, and we ran it for a long time. For anyone who isn't familiar with the history of the architecture of the protocol from Morse through Shannon, essentially the founding teams who eventually became Grove have always provided significant architectural input and all the rest of that, oversight, and the majority, I would say, of primary engineering. And that's a long story of that. But there's also always been significant community engineering and contribution, things like GeoMesh and Light Client and all of the rest of those, Lean Pocket, right? All of the rest of those things were community engineering contributions. Sauron, of course, is also a community contribution here. Tooling has never been something that was all handled in one place. But as we started getting heavily into the Shannon development cycle, Olshansky, the protocol lead, asked specifically to pause outside community contributions so as to not add coordination layer work to the work that he was already doing. So that's what we did throughout that entire period of time. But now that primary engineering on the Shannon has been completed and delivered, we are opening community engineering back up, and we have PRs already waiting out there that are in review right now to be included in the next version. We will turn up a bounty program. Otto is here to help administer those sorts of things. He is the head of protocol for the foundation, so he'll be setting up which PRs require which bounties and tooling requirements and all the rest of that. We're probably going to do a light maintenance cycle to get some quick things pushed out for 1.3.1 version, and then pause till after the beginning of the year to work on the list for what the next version will include. And I'm going to read out what Jorge put in here. I want to clarify that Sauron is acting as a monitor for Pocket nodes only for now, and also load balancer for RPC, API, gRPC, and WebSockets. Also allows to connect to other Saurons and share between node runners without exposing your nodes, so you can be using Prometheus metrics to understand if your nodes are up to date in comparison to the others, internals and externals. So this means that you can deploy it and then connect your multiple nodes and your relay miner to a single point, which will load balance to the fastest and most up-to-date node on your infra. And if your nodes go down, can move the requests to externals that are still last known good. So sharing is the way to build a massive Pocket node network to ensure that we are always working fine. Exactly. This is a strong focus on quality of service. And this is something that anybody who's been here for a long time probably remembers when Sean was doing peering towers back in Morse early on. Peering towers were a way to connect multiple nodes together to do discovery and to sort of ping each other on the network. They worked similar to how our seed nodes work, but they were specifically set up to do sort of constant broadcasting among each other for availability and such. So Sauron is the next step in Shannon to some of those similar concepts of helping provide community-provided quality of service metrics and mechanics to help maintain a high quality of service. If you're connected in the Sauron grid and you are not up to the latest block height and your nodes are not responding in a timely fashion, Sauron can help reroute that traffic to a node that is. And I think that that's a really great example of community engineering with a real public good focus as a contribution to our quality of service initiatives. Because Sauron functionally says, if my node's not good enough, send it to someone else's who is. And that's like, that really speaks to the ethos of our network and the kind of tooling that we're building. And Ramiro says, and why not make it a gateway and allow app delegation to receive non-rate limited RPCs? Hey, I mean, y'all go nuts. Whatever I can do to help support those initiatives, always happy to. I see more typing, more typing, more typing.
128.
What?
The hub isn't going to be gone by the 28th.
Alex, I'm going to server mute you because it looks like you're unmuted when you should be muted. Can Ramiro share what he is working on with his team? I mean, he just said that he will share when he feels ready, but he doesn't want to put that out until he is ready to say so. I will say that it is because we were gathering gateway information around the network, and I knew that he had a gateway build in progress. Yeah, you weren't, but I'll unmute you now. I dug into what they were doing because I wasn't sure if they wanted to be part of our shared public RPC channels, but they do not, because it is quite innovative and quite different than any other type of gateway interface to the protocol. So, but they will share when they are ready. It's heavily LLM focused with an emphasis on streaming. Is that correct, Ramiro?
Yeah, it's heavily emphasized on AI models, LLMs starting, obviously, and routing around them. We will also include other services. I'm beginning to test them, but if you have not yet launched the LLM part, you can expect other kind of services like image generation to take a little bit more of time. But, well, anything. We are basically focusing on everything that's AI RPCs on Pocket Network.
And those are all your services that are registered on the network that are related to LLM queries, right?
Yeah, if you dig out all the services that are already on mainnet, you will see there's a bunch of them that have names that are basically the same that you will find in Hugging Face for machine learning models, and those are all for our service. Yeah.
Yeah, what's really interesting is if you hit like the explore.pocket.network and look at the registered services and then sort them by CUPR, that is a particularly interesting view. Because they're expensive, and I like that.
Yeah, they are quite expensive. So that's why you won't be looking at, if we are successful with what we are doing, you won't see a lot of relays, but you will certainly see a lot of CUs.
And again, like CUs are our most important metric in Shannon, not raw relay count, because our pocket cost in burn is all calculated by CUs. So, you know, we could do 100 million relays of a very low CUPR service, and it doesn't actually contribute significant burn, whereas using these LLM services, a very low amount of relays could probably equal the total burn that we have now in CUs. At least low comparatively.
So on that note, out of curiosity, what's the driving factor for using it? Like, what's the expected cost if you were to kind of try to average it out? Is it on par with Hugging Face, or what Hugging Face charges for their API?
The cost is calculated around to be a little bit cheaper or at the same level of using a model like a Llama 70 billion on OpenRouter. And that's a cheap model. Yeah.
Okay.
And well, there's all this particular thing that we have in Pocket, that we cannot charge you for tokens like most, like OpenAI or any other provider will do. They charge you for the tokens, for what the model is writing out and how many tokens it's writing in. We are trying to see if we can change a little bit that paradigm into charge by relay, charge by a fixed response, because we think that there is a problem right now, that this is more general than Pocket and everything. I mean, isn't it a little bit weird that these guys like OpenAI are charging you for how long their model's answer is, and their models are trying to provide long answers. So you end up doing tricks like, please be brief. And that makes no sense for us. So we think that at some point we will need to change this into a per response cost. Like, answer me this question and I will pay you for the answer of this question, not for how many tokens you write to answer this question. If you can do it faster, it's better for you. And Pocket kind of aligns that. If we pay our no runners for a model's response to a question, they will try to get a fast and short response, and a good response that is short enough so they then spend a lot of time processing it, because they will be paid the same for a long or a short answer. So as long as it is good, the models will align to be more effective in that sense. Now, at least I find it not logical what we are seeing today in the market of LLMs, and it's something that will need to go away at some point.
Does that mean we're going to cut off the whole? That's a very good question, Ramiro. I'm glad you pointed that out. I can completely understand your frustration.
Yeah, that's sycophantic behavior also. I mean, it's all a business for them, for the LLMs to be sycophantic. They spend like 30 tokens just pricing you and then start the actual response. I mean, I don't need that.
Yeah, I'm super excited at seeing how that's all going to come out, because I think of all of the things that we've seen built out on the protocol, that's probably one of the most novel and heavy use case tooling or products that we've seen built out there. So I think that it's going to change how people think of the protocol, and it's absolutely going to change what we're focused on from a performance aspect of the protocol, because it's CU based as opposed to relay based. We really don't care, like how many relays that's being done. It's really about the cost of the requests. Cryptocorn asks thoughts on how many CUs this might bring in by end of year or by next summer, Northern Hemisphere. I'll say that, with any new product, it's always difficult to estimate, like, how quick adoption is going to happen. There's probably some targets that are nice. I imagine, they've probably put together some models around that. But I will say that when you're looking at services that are 50,000 to 500,000 CUs per transaction, it doesn't take a lot of adoption to start making a significant difference in our daily CU burn. Any update on PGAT? I'll say that, when it comes to PGAT, we have a couple of folks who are still very active. DevDAO Cloud has probably been our biggest superstar in PGAT. In any incubator, obviously, there's a wide variety of people who are successful versus people who aren't. DevDAO Cloud is going live as part of our next gateway cycle and will be part of the load balancer. And Vistia is still in contact and interacting with us. They have spun up their own whole standalone incubator, which we are helping mentor out in Vietnam. So they have additional cohorts that are going through there that I think are going to be adding to the total Shannon user base, so to speak. But the biggest winner is going to be DevDAO Cloud, who is going into our load balancer in December. Will DevDAO Cloud bring a lot of expensive traffic in December? I mean, Crypto's not on this call, but we could certainly ask him to join the next one and ask him about what their marketing launch is looking like. DevDAO itself is a fairly well-known organization that has a solid membership, and they're connected to other folks like Raid Guild and such. They have a good reputation. So I expect they're throwing everything at it, and they are not just an RPC gateway, so to speak. They are a full cloud services provider. So they're going to be bringing Web3 developers to their gateway for using all of their services, and RPCs is a function of that offering. So We expect to see great things from them, but I couldn't answer that question. That's that's a purely theoretical question until they're live. Bring a lot of expensive traffic. I don't even know what that means. Our traffic is really super cost competitive, except for these AI models.
Which also should be competitive.
Yeah, just in comparison to RPC versus other types of traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, can Pocket provide them more than just RPC, i.e., some other services? I mean, that's an interesting question. So one of the things that we are working on, just as a quick side note, by the way, we did get all the chain list stuff updated. Auto pushed that earlier this week. So once that's merged, expect to see all the updated Pocket API endpoints on chain list. So back to the question that Evo asked here. One of the initiatives that we're working on right now is trying to solve the all-in-one problem in Web3. A lot of people use AWS or Azure or even Cloudflare because they can get multiple services from a single one-stop shop, so to speak. And so that question that you've asked is, I think, important to greater Web3 adoption just in general. So one of the things that we've been doing is working on building a Web3 coalition where we and other Web3 partners use and improve each other's services in order to work towards building a central all-in-one Web3 development stack. And we are currently working with a couple of different providers and testing on that. Decentralized storage is one of those. Our new snapshot system is using Stratos, and we have node runners who are working on building Stratos nodes on our own network, which would mean that using Pocket, you could access your decentralized storage as well. And then we have a decentralized cloud provider or cloud services provider who is doing distributed compute that is also looking to build on top of our network and add to what Pocket node runners are capable of doing with their own nodes, essentially being able to shuffle spare compute in their nodes into use for decentralized compute as part of that network to be rewarded additionally. So yes, that would be a focus that we are currently working on and that we are building out partners for. And that node runners themselves, I think, will benefit from because they can fully utilize all capacity that they have between storage, compute, throughput, etc., which makes node running more profitable in general. And that's going towards the goal of having an all-in-one platform put together. Who is working on this Web3 all-in-one solution? What is the ETA for it to go live? A bunch of us. It's an open source community project that we've just started putting partnerships together for. We've got 2 partnerships running now that are being built out as we speak. QSpider is the one who's working on the Stratos nodes within the Pocket network, and Easy to Stake is the one who is working on the automated snapshot generation for using the decentralized storage solution for Pocket network snapshots. And us at the foundation are coordinating that partnership layer and setting up the actual dashboard and application that will essentially tie all these things together. I don't know if there's an ETA yet for a go live that I'd commit to, but we're targeting end of Q2, early Q3. There's a lot of engineering that has to go into that to make it all work, including essentially building an internal DEX to the application that's capable of taking stable coins and converting them into the native token of each of the supported services in order to perform automated staking and things along that line as required by each service. So definitely some heavy lifting that has to be done on the engineering side, but I'm pretty confident that mid next year we are probably going to be a place where we are at the very least an MVP. And yes, Pocket is at the dead center of this initiative. We own the domains associated with it, and we're doing all the partnership coordination. Other questions or topics? All right. Well, happy to give you all 15 minutes of your time back. Appreciate, as always, everyone taking their lunchtime out on Wednesdays to be able to come join in our ecosystem calls and, sync up with what's going on. These calls are going to become even more important over the next 4 to 6 months as we ramp up the amount of community engineering and ecosystem partnerships that we're working on. So very much please let everyone else know who you're working with that these are the times to get in here and ask questions and show off your products and builds and all the rest of that. But until next week, we will see y'all then. Bye, y'all.